There is a moment many people experience at some point in adulthood when they pause and quietly ask themselves a difficult question. They are working, earning, paying bills, doing what they believe responsible adults are supposed to do, yet somehow the financial pressure never seems to disappear. The numbers change slightly over time, salaries increase, expenses shift, opportunities appear and disappear, but the underlying feeling remains the same. Money flows in, money flows out, and the distance between effort and security always feels slightly out of reach. Imagine a man in his early 30s sitting at his kitchen table late in the evening after work. His laptop is open, his bank account is on the screen, and he is scrolling through transactions from the past month. Nothing looks dramatic. There are no luxury purchases, no outrageous spending decisions, no obvious mistakes, just groceries, rent, transport, subscriptions, small conveniences, and the occasional dinner out with friends. Everything seems normal, even reasonable, and yet the total remaining balance at the bottom of the screen tells a different story. This situation rarely happens because of one catastrophic decision. Far more often, it emerges quietly through a set of everyday habits that feel harmless in isolation, but gradually shape the financial direction of an entire life. The first habit begins with something that appears harmless: spending before thinking about saving. Most people treat savings as whatever remains after the month ends, rather than something that receives priority when income arrives. The psychological effect is subtle but powerful, because when saving is treated as an afterthought, spending automatically becomes the default behavior, and the remaining balance becomes a reflection of habits rather than intention. Money doesn't disappear suddenly. It disappears through daily decisions that feel too small to matter. The second habit involves lifestyle expansion. When income increases, many people believe their financial problems will naturally shrink, yet the opposite often happens. A slightly better apartment, a slightly nicer phone, a few more conveniences added to daily life. None of these upgrades feel irresponsible, and in many cases they genuinely improve comfort, but the combined effect quietly absorbs the very income that was supposed to create breathing room. Income can rise for years, while financial pressure stays exactly the same. The third habit is the quiet normalization of debt. Debt today rarely feels like an emergency. It is often presented as a tool, a convenience, or a way to smooth out temporary financial gaps. Small balances appear manageable, minimum payments appear affordable, and over time, the psychological weight of debt becomes something people simply learn to live with rather than eliminate. The fourth habit is emotional spending disguised as normal consumption. Long days at work, stress from responsibilities, and the constant mental fatigue of modern life create a powerful desire for small rewards: a new gadget, a delivery meal, an online purchase late at night. Individually, these decisions appear insignificant, but collectively they slowly redirect large portions of income away from long-term stability. Convenience is one of the most expensive emotions people buy. The fifth habit is ignoring the mathematics of small recurring costs. Many financial decisions are evaluated as single events rather than long-term patterns. A monthly subscription seems trivial. A small payment plan seems manageable. Yet when these repeating costs accumulate across years, they transform into permanent claims on future income. The sixth habit involves comparing financial progress to the visible lives of others. Social environments quietly influence spending behavior. When friends upgrade homes, travel frequently, or showcase certain lifestyles, it subtly resets what feels normal. People rarely intend to compete financially, yet the pressure to keep pace with visible standards often pushes spending higher than personal stability allows. Comparison quietly turns other people's lives into your financial decisions. The seventh and perhaps most important habit is the absence of deliberate financial systems. Many people rely on willpower rather than structure when managing money. They hope to spend less next month,
hope to save more next year, hope that income growth will eventually solve the pressure. Without a system that automatically directs money toward priorities, financial behavior becomes reactive instead of intentional. Hope is not a financial strategy. Systems are. When the man at the kitchen table finishes reviewing his bank account, nothing about his life appears unusual. In fact, his financial behavior looks very similar to millions of people navigating modern economies. The habits shaping his financial reality are not extreme, reckless, or irresponsible. They are normal, and that is precisely why they are so powerful. Financial outcomes are rarely determined by a single dramatic decision. They are usually the result of small patterns repeated over long periods of time, patterns that feel invisible while they are happening and obvious only when viewed from a distance. Understanding these habits doesn't guarantee wealth, nor does it promise immediate change. What it does offer is clarity. When people begin to recognize the patterns guiding their financial behavior, they gain the ability to interrupt those patterns and replace them with more deliberate choices. Over time, the direction of money begins to change. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but steadily. And in the long run, steady changes in financial direction often shape the entire trajectory of a life. If you found this perspective helpful and you enjoy calm, analytical breakdowns of how money systems, psychology, and economic patterns shape our financial lives, consider subscribing to the channel. New videos explore the hidden mechanics behind wealth, financial behavior, and long-term economic thinking. Like the video if you found value in it, subscribe for more thoughtful financial insights, and I will see you in the next one.